thank you. Thank you so much for honoring me and having me as the guest on this call. And everyone, I'm just so excited to be on the call. I really love doing these types of things. I speak to dozens of people, throughout the day, but it's all individual. And when I get done during the day, my voice is hoarse, and this gives me the opportunity to reach out to hundreds of people at one time to share with them these wonderful products that we have. And it's just really exciting for me to be able to do that. I love to do it. I love to get up and give presentations and to educate people on these wonderful products. So as Michelle had said, my background is in the scientific industry, where I have worked for companies that deal in pharmaceuticals, in biotechnology, and in medical device. And I've been in those industries. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when I was given the opportunity to come on board here at Asia Sciences, I just thought it was just a great chance to use my experience, not only taking it from these industries and applying it to health and nutrition, but also my degree. And my degree is in organic chemistry. So I have a doctorate in organic chemistry, and what that means is I look at things from a molecular level and really more from an atomic level. And so I've studied relationships, whether it be drug interactions or something going on in the human body, from really how carbons interact with hydrogen, and how like an amino group might react with a carboxylic acid group and form like a hydrogen bond. And I can go on and on about the chemistry of things, but this is what I do, and this is where I have a vast experience in biochemistry, metabolic processes. I understand all these things at just the really foundational core level. So going into the area of health and nutrition is really right in my wheelhouse. And I can look at the ingredients that we have in BodyDrive, and I can see how they might interact with the body and how they might have beneficial effects. And, the reason why it's important is because the medical community has really let us down in certain ways, in that we have needs, and a lot of cases the medical community is not meeting those needs in providing us the medicines or the treatments, or really more of the prevention of certain disease states. So we rely on them to come up with a new drug. I was born in the 80s, or actually I was born in the late 60s, but I grew up in the 80s, and Huey Lewis and the News had a nice song, and I loved it. And I remember in high school doing a report on this. I want a new drug. And, that still applies today. People are constantly looking for that new thing to help them feel good, to help them, be happy, and to help them do all this and that. But it's not going to come from the medical community. It really comes from our mindset, our mental attitude, but more importantly, what we take in. And the food we take in really has a huge factor on how we feel and how we interact with others and our attitude. So in the area of health and wellness and nutrition, Asia Sciences has developed a couple of products that are really dynamic and really awesome in what they do. And so coming over here and being a part of this company is just such an honor. And I now want to jump in a little bit and tell you a little bit about our flagship product, BodyDrive. And the reason we chose this as our flagship is because the ingredients that go into it are just phenomenal. I mean, these are the top-notch quality, the best ingredients that you can get. There really isn't a product out there on the market that has what we have in it. So BodyDrive, the ingredients were carefully chosen, to stimulate our immune system, say with anti-inflammatories, some antibacterials and antifungal ingredients. And the reason why we chose these things was to help, detoxify the body, but at the same time to load it up with an incredible amount of nutrition so that we can be a little bit more healthy. So it really is a wonderful opportunity that we have here in order to share with you all of these benefits, but it's also to give us a better quality of life, and also to be able to share it with those we care about. So another interesting thing that we did with BodyDrive is in our formulation, we loaded it up with 12 grams. So one serving is 12 grams, and if you think about that, a lot of people take pills, and, some people take pills, many, many times a day, and those things can really add up. But this 12-gram scoop of BodyDrive, that would be equivalent to 250 milligram capsules. And, to be perfectly honest, I sure wouldn't want to be taking that many, pills a day in order to get, health benefits or nutrition throughout the day. It just really would not be a fun thing to do. But to help categorize BodyDrive, we decided that we wanted to, classify and put it into 4, distinct matrices. It just helps us to talk about it. But the first of the matrices that I want to address is the resveratrol matrix. Now, we chose this particular matrix to be a standalone matrix because it by itself is awesome. And if people don't know anything about resveratrol, they need to go online and they need to search resveratrol. Go on to PubMed or whatever and type in resveratrol, and you will get thousands, probably over 10,000 hits of resveratrol as it relates to a variety of disease states. And I mean, we don't have time tonight to go into all of those disease states, but I encourage you, everybody, go online and look at resveratrol. But keep in mind, we just didn't use any garden variety resveratrol. We used the best that you can possibly get. And what we did was we micronized resveratrol. And what that essentially does is it increases the overall surface area. It makes the particles really, really, really small so that your body is able to break it down and utilize this ingredient more readily. If the surface area is very big, then you only will digest just the outer part of it, and then the rest of it will go through the rest of your digestive system, and then, basically into, be, ejected, into the toilet. So with micronization, we increase that surface area so you get all of the nutrition and benefit of this wonderful ingredient. Now, you might know resveratrol because it's thought to be responsible for the French paradox. And what the French paradox is why is it that the French culture, they have a high-fat diet, they consume alcohol, they smoke, and but yet they have a low incident of heart disease. And a lot of people have thought that the reason why they don't have a high incident of heart disease is because the amount of red wine that they drink. And red wine contains a certain amount of resveratrol in it because it comes from grapes. And it's a natural, compound from the grape that is in the skin of grapes, and it helps protect the grape against, fungus and bacteria attacking the grape. So when the wine is made and fermented, some of that resveratrol, of course, goes into wine. And there's a small amount of resveratrol, but when you have wine every day, now you're giving your body a systemic dose of resveratrol because you have it every day. Well, what we've done in BodyDrive is we put resveratrol in there, but the amount of resveratrol, micronized resveratrol, would be equivalent to about 40 glasses of red wine. And that's, I don't know about you, but I sure couldn't operate on 40 glasses of wine. I mean, that's just unheard of. But micronization is really the key with this because it breaks it down into smaller particles so your body can utilize it. Now, the other matrix that we have is the antioxidant matrix. And this was a very important matrix because oxidation occurs in our body all the time. I mean, we can go out even in the sun, and there's oxidation that goes on due to, the sun, and just, with aging and just the natural, some of metabolic processes, and due to some of the things that we eat, it causes oxidation. And so the antioxidant matrix contains things like acai berry and blueberry and cherry, maki berry powder, and grape powder, and these are all antioxidants. And they help in preventing the oxidation that goes on, and oxidation can cause a lot of harm to our bodies. But this matrix also contains another very interesting ingredient that I really like, and that's called apopectin. Apopectin is neat because it has a chelating effect. And what chelating does is it basically, think of it, remember the game Pac-Man where Pac-Man would go around and shoot and eating all of these little dots, right? Well, Apopectin is like the little Pac-Man that goes around, and the dots are toxins. And these toxins can be heavy metals like lead, strontium, even certain amounts of radioactivity. And it goes around and finds these things and basically eats them. And then it because your body doesn't really digest and break down the apopectin, it chelates it, and then it goes out and will be ejected from your body. So this is a wonderful way to get rid of some of those toxins and heavy metals. And everybody's probably familiar, excuse me, with what's going on in Flint, Michigan. I mean, they have lead in their water. So ingredients like apopectin that can help chelate things can help prevent some unwanted toxins from entering your body. One of the other matrices we have is the energy healing matrix, and this is really nice because it has ingredients in it that attempt to help with say pain, to give you increased energy and increased mental clarity and things like that. And so some ingredients there are like green coffee bean extract. And the nice thing about green coffee bean extract is not only does it contain a little bit of caffeine, and by the way, there is caffeine in BodyDrive, so if you're sensitive to caffeine, just be aware of that. But the amount of caffeine that's in BodyDrive would be equivalent to, say, 3 cups of decaf or a quarter to a third cup of premium brewed coffee, something like that. But it contains, this matrix also contains aloe vera and stevia leaf, not stevia, but stevia leaf, very different. And another ingredient that really makes BodyDrive more unique than others out there are ionic mineral zeolites. Now, this is a wonderful added ingredient that we have to BodyDrive because a lot of the foods we eat are just leached out of minerals, and that's due to just the farming practices that we have right now. So when we think we're eating a vegetable or some fruits and things like that, and we think that there are certain minerals in there, well, there are some, but it's not enough. It's not as much as there, say, maybe used to be 20, 30 years ago because of the farming techniques that we use right now. And a lot of these minerals are not present in as much abundance as they used to be. So adding these ionic mineral zeolites is very beneficial. But again, we've taken this and we've micronized them and made the particle size smaller so that, what does that allow? Again, your body to absorb these minerals in an easier fashion so that it doesn't go all to waste. So the ionic mineral zeolites are absolutely fabulous, and that's really what distinguishes, along with resveratrol, of BodyDrive from some of the other products that people may be familiar with. And the last matrix we have is the cellular health matrix. And this is a matrix that optimizes, say, like wound healing processes. It helps the body recover from injury or exertion or exercise. So people can take BodyDrive as a pre and post workout, and they feel great. But these ingredients also help to target things that are going on in your digestive system, your GI, your intestinal tract, your bones, and many of our other organs. And so ingredients here have like fucoidan brown seaweed, moringa oleifera, beetroot, which is an awesome ingredient, and then bergamot, green tea powders. People are familiar with green tea. And then it's also got a superfood in it called stabilized rice bran. And we also have, this is a really important one, and I want to focus on this, and this leads me into our other product, and that is rice bran is, well, rice in general is a staple for, nearly half the world's population. And the nice thing about it is there's currently no varieties that are approved for human consumption that are genetically modified. So we've taken this, we've stabilized this rice bran, which really contains the most nutrient-dense portion of the rice. And not only do we have it in BodyDrive, but then we developed our weight satiety product, SkinnyDrive, which is the foundation is on this stabilized rice bran. And so the nice thing about SkinnyDrive is that it contains macronutrients like healthy fats and dietary fiber. It's got some protein in there, and it really helps with weight satiety. And weight satiety is means that you don't, you're not always hungry. So you chew a Skinny Drive wafer, and I mean chew it. Now, this is kind of a funny side story. I had one person actually try and swallow one of the wafers. Right? If you've seen the wafers and you know what I'm talking about, they're pretty large. He actually swallowed it. But you chew these wafers. Important, you chew these wafers, and what it does is it goes into your stomach and you start digesting it, but it also will expand a little bit when you drink the water that goes along with it, and it gives you a feeling of being full, but it also provides you with a lot of nutrition. There's vitamins in there, there's minerals, there's amino acids, there's fatty acids in it. It's got a very low glycemic index, it's non-GMO. Oh, and I will mention that it's gluten-free. The same with our BodyDrive as well. So people, you don't have to worry about that. But Skinny Drive also contains, things like tocopherols and tocotrienols, and these are vitamin E family of fat-soluble antioxidants for metabolism and glucose regulation, but also gamma-oryzanols, which also support, again, metabolism and glucose regulation. There's things like phytosterols, there's inositol, but the dietary fibers that are in Skinny Drive are wonderful. It's got beta-glucan in it. That these are polysaccharides of the glucose monomers, and very good for maybe preventing certain infections and other disease states. And it just, I can go on and on about all the benefits that you get from not only BodyDrive but also Skinny Drive. The sweeteners in it, let's see, there's a little bit of fructose in the Skinny Drive. The BodyDrive has a nice sweetener in it as well, and those of you who are dentists in the office or in the dentists in the audience will notice that it does contain a little bit of glucose in it, but it also contains a open chain sugar called inulin. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I'm just running. I just forgot what it was now. I apologize. But the ingredient that we use to sweeten it up it's just wonderful for oral and teeth health. So with a combination of BodyDrive and Skinny Drive, I take them every day, and I've been taking them for well over a year. I chew 2 Skinny Drive wafers in the morning, followed by a 1 full scoop of BodyDrive in a glass of water, and I just enjoy nutrition all day long. It gives me energy. It just really, I start out my day right with this. So these 2 amazing ingredients are really wonderful. We have a package we call our Driven Now Action Plan, where there's a combination of a canister of BodyDrive and 2 canisters of Skinny Drive, and this is a package that we put together for those that are interested in maybe potentially losing a little bit of weight. It's a wonderful plan. People have tried it. They rave about it, and there's a lot of good things that are going on there. So I hope this has been beneficial for everybody. I really enjoy talking to people about it. And Michelle, thanks for the opportunity to come on tonight and to talk about it. And I look forward to doing it again.